Are we rolling?
Yep.
My name is Abby Wendker, and I agree to be videotaped and to having my opinions be published online for Envision Knoxville. Okay, so we've done my name. I'm Abby Wendker. I'm 35 years old. This is the part where you edit. I live in 37917. I bought a house here in October 2009, so I've been in this house for 2 years. And I've lived in Knoxville since 2007, so almost 5 years. I went to undergraduate school here, moved away for 5 years, and in 2002, after living for 5 years in New York City, moved back to Knoxville because it's awesome. I lived in New York as an artist, and I had to work all the time. It was really expensive, and I couldn't find a band. I'm also a musician, and the whole time I was there, I couldn't find anyone to play with. I was back in Knoxville for 2 weeks before I had a band that I still play with. We have places to play here in Knoxville. We have a community that embraces us. We don't make a lot of money, but I guess that's a good way to segue into what I love the most about Knoxville, which is that I can afford to live here. I'm a creative type, so I am a musician. I'm a classically trained cellist, but I play bass in a rock band. I'm a painter, educated at UT for fine art, but after living for 5 years in New York, I realized that I wasn't going to make it big and famous as an artist, and I just wanted to be able to support myself doing something that meant something to me and be able to afford to make art and music. And in Knoxville, that's possible because the cost of living is pretty low here. I'm able to live on my salary as a nonprofit coordinator, which is, I think, a fair compensation for a nonprofit, but it is a nonprofit. So I can take that salary and have a mortgage in Knoxville, which means a lot to me as a single female. Having my name on that mortgage paper means a lot to me. So I think that's top of the list for why I like Knoxville. I can have a mortgage here, I have a job using my skills for a nonprofit, and I can still have time to paint and play in a rock band. And there are venues for that in Knoxville. There are places where my band can play and people can come appreciate us, and there are places where I can hang my art in Knoxville. So those are my favorites. I guess if I have to get political, I could say that I really appreciate that Madeline Ruggiero, which was my candidate for city mayor, was elected in this town. I think that says a lot about where Knoxville is going, and if you want to talk about Knoxville's potential, I think that Madeline Ruggiero being elected to city mayor indicates serious potential for Knoxville. I think that her campaign to motivate young people, people my age, I'm 35, and even younger, into being involved at the local level says a lot about our potential as a city to be more, to overcome voter apathy, to be involved in the democratic process. And I think that that is a close second to things that I love about Knoxville. And I think, my other favorite city is, of course, New York City, the center of the universe. I love New York because it has variety. I love New York because it has public transportation. I think Knoxville has the variety part going really well. I would love it, and I know that there's a cost-effective ratio in place here with public transit. But I would love to see Knoxville continue to pursue encouraging its residents to use the bus system so that we can increase budget for the bus system and get that chicken and the egg thing going with more buses, more frequent schedule, more convenience for patrons to use it, so that we could see in 10 or 15 years a lot more people like me being able to rely on walking down to the end of the street and grab the Broadway bus downtown, or even taking the bus to the West Town Mall, whatever. So I guess I did think of a potential that it would be really great to see in Knoxville.